Hey guys, I am Andy and it is Whiteboard Wednesday where we break down information that helps your church. If you could do us a huge favor, please like and share this video so we can continue putting out helpful content like this for you guys every single Wednesday. So today I'm here with Dan.
Hey guys.
And we are going to be talking about marketing habits of an effective church. Dan's actually going to be zoning in on 6 extremely important ones. So Whiteboard Wednesday is back. Let's get to it, Dan.
Hey, it's great to be back with you guys. It's been too long of a break, but I'm looking forward to catching up with you guys in the comments below. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be there and we can keep the conversation going even after this video. So let's just jump right in. So number one, as far as some of these effective habits, is number one, they tell stories. Now it's more important than ever for churches to tell their stories. Someone once said, words are how we think, but stories are how we link. And more than ever, people need to be connected to the church, and we can use stories to accomplish that. And so here are some of the stories I think churches can tell, and they're already available, and you don't have to go digging for them. Think baptisms. When someone's getting baptism, they have a story. How did they come to the church? How did they get saved? What led them to making this public profession of faith? And those are great stories. Those are some of the best stories you can ever hear from people. And so what I'd recommend to churches is take those stories, shoot a video, and the wonderful thing about a video is you can keep sharing that story. But churches more than ever need to share stories. They need to think in stories. There's a really good book called Story Wars. They can kind of read up on this, and it'll kind of give them some of the steps to creating stories and really being story driven.
Yeah, I know off the top of my head, I know some of the videos that really have stuck out with me at my church is just these testimonials of giving, of just different things.
Isn't it interesting? Like if I asked you, hey, what happened 6 weeks ago in the announcements, you'd be like, I don't know. But if I said, hey, remember when that person gave their, we're talking through their baptism testimony, you'd be like, oh yeah, and then this happened. It just sticks in our memory a little bit better when we get a story. So number two is they advertise authentically. And so here's what I mean. I'm not talking about like, hey, we're giving away a car, and you get to the door and you don't get a car. I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about authentically. And here's just a simple thing. Instead of using stock photography on your church website, use your own photos. I mean, man, with even like cell phones these days, they take great photos. There's no reason why your church can't use your photos on your website, on your publications going out. That's just one way you can be authentic. And now we all know, don't fudge your words. If you don't have, if you're working on growing your youth program, maybe the word dynamic, vibrant, aren't the words you want to use when talking about your youth program. You want to be authentic. So there's a takeaway there. Number three, they want to partner with other churches. And there's two specific reasons. One is it's going to give them some feedback on how to reach their community. I'm not talking about just partnering with churches in other cities and other states, but literally within that city. And what's going to happen is with that feedback, you guys together will be able to know how to better reach your local community. It's also going to give you, with your church, it's also going to help your members kind of see the bigger global goal of the church. It's bigger than just our local body, and that motivates people when they start to see the church on a bigger scale. Okay, number four, we're just trekking through these. They participate in their community. I think with our churches, if we're not careful, we do everything within our walls, but more than ever, we need to get outside. And our communities are watching. They're trying to see our church is going to be involved. And I was shocked with Fresno, man. I love our church. I love the way. And this last year, we have just gotten tenacious on going to the crisis pregnancy centers, the Ronald McDonald's houses, the Fresno Rescue Mission. I mean, we are just getting out in our community, and people are noticing. So what I want to encourage you, your city has needs. They have big needs. And now your church maybe can't accomplish all of those, but they can do something. So again, a good habit of a effective church is they're going to be involved in the needs. Okay, next. They are clear in their call to action. I can't tell you how many times I've picked up a postcard, looked on a website, saw a social media ad, and it's really wishy-washy as far as what they want me to do. Like, do they want me to, see that they're having an event? Do they just want me to hold this postcard in their hand? More than that, you gotta nail down. If it's a postcard, you gotta say, this is the event, this is the time, and we want you there.
We're saving you a seat.
Right. Yeah. You want to be careful by using these over general, hey, come if you feel like it and you got nothing else going on a Saturday. That just doesn't work anymore. So in your call to action, you have to be specific. Now, this may be the call to action on your website. Again, maybe on a mailer and maybe on a social media graphic, but just be precise. Know what you're trying to say when it comes to that call to action. Being muddy, you might as well not even put it up there. Okay, and then lastly, they stay consistent. if there's anything that, some people would say, the biggest problem with church, they have cheesmographics, or, the biggest problem is they don't have a good website. I would say the biggest problem is they're just not consistent. They try out social media a couple times, they put a couple of posts up, they do one baptism video from 4 years ago, they got their welcome video done, and there's a different pastor in the video. We kind of see it. You need to just be consistent. Build these into rhythm. So if you're doing these for the first time, here's a hint, here's a takeaway. Build a little system to it. Build a little checklist that can be redone. So obviously with your church, if you're going to share a baptism video, there's going to be a couple steps through there. So take the time and document that, print it up, and that way you'll always be ready to go with the next baptism. Man, this one is so important. Your community has needs. It's one thing to go out and maybe pick up trash on the side of the road once, or one time a year, but man, it's not like people are coming out in droves trying to help your community, and your church can have that reputation of, man, they love our city, they're helping our city, and you guys can own that, and that's such a neat
what a way
thing.
to impact your community like that. I mean, for people to see that your church is doing something in the community. I mean, it's just a way.
But it's going to take consistency. It's going to take more than once, more than twice. It's going to take, just day in and day out making that a reality. So this is kind of the 6 habits here, and I hope they were a good takeaway. If you have another habit that you can think of, man, leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions on any of these, man, you can catch me in the comments. I'm looking forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you for joining us, Dan. This was Whiteboard Wednesday, and please like and share this video so we can continue doing this stuff for you guys. So you guys have a good one.